Welcome back to part 2, how to run for president. Fourth thing successful candidates do is they do not fear the media. They happily talk to reporters who want to interview them, including television, podcasters, radio stations, newspapers. They are willing to give interviews, and here's the truth about, at least in America, despite the millions upon millions of dollars spent on advertising, voters love to make their decision not based upon the advertising that they see, but what they see of the candidates in tough, hard-hitting interviews with reporters who ask difficult questions. And what they're measuring is your character, the way you choose your words, the way you answer those questions, the way you handle pressure when you're in a debate. All of this is what they see that helps them make their decision because, like I said, your character is ultimately the deciding thing in a presidential campaign. It's what voters decide. Who do I trust to lead us forward? Who do I trust to keep me safe? Who do I trust to protect my safety net? Who's going to give me the kind of change that I'm hoping for in the future? The fifth thing I'll mention here is nobody's ever going to be elected president unless they're able to raise what by 2028 will be over $1 billion. We're well on our way. As I do this video, we're well on our way to that in 2024. It's only going to grow. So the United States in particular is become the wild, wild west of campaign financing. Money is flowing everywhere, essentially because the Supreme Court took the brakes off campaign fundraising in a Supreme Court decision 20 years ago. You have to have money. You have to be in a constant search for it. Some of these influencers that you're going to be talking to are people who give you money. So let me talk about the different kinds of donors that you're going to encounter. One is if you're just starting out as a presidential race, of course, you're going to want to talk to your family and your close friends and your relatives. That's where your seed capital is going to come from to get started. You're going to go look for ideological groups and the leaders of ideological groups that are in sync with your cause and agree on what you are trying to do. There are political party organizations that take an outsized interest in who wins a nomination and who is running in a general election. There are what we call investors. Who's an investor? That is someone who has to have access to people who run the United States government because they're in business with the United States government, or they have an interest affected by policies that are implemented during a presidency, and they invest in candidates for this simple reason. After the election, they need to be able to get in and talk to people in the administration or cabinet secretaries or even a president to make their case on something that they want done or a law that needs to be changed. They invest heavily in making sure that they have access to the candidate after the election. They will give to you if they think you've got a good chance of winning. All right, the fifth category, which is playing an increasingly important role, especially in the United States. There are people who, when they see a candidate on TV or they watch a convention, they say, I like this person. Let me help this person. And they take out their credit card and they make a donation. There are also people in this country who look at both candidates and decide they really like one and they really can't stand the other. And sometimes the overwhelming reason they give to one candidate is because they really don't want the other candidate to win. The point is, there are a lot of Americans used to taking out their credit card and expressing their point of view by clicking a couple of buttons and sending candidates money. There are a lot of people doing that in the United States, and that number is going to grow going forward. So it is part of your retail fundraising apparatus. You've got to let people know you need the money, and you've got to be there to make it easier for them to do it with your advertising, your digital ads, etc. These are the rudiments and fundamentals of running for president. It's what successful candidates all do, and they do it very well. Do not forget to get that free ebook I mentioned, 12 Essential Steps to Prepare for a Political Campaign. It's worth the time. It will take you to click that link and put in your email.